shit, Christian Wilkins, man. Oh, I thought you talking about something else.
With $84 million guaranteed. But just 1 year
I'm scared of him, bro. He a Clemson Tiger too, bro. I think that's how y'all roll.
Wilkins just got released.
Tonka Camp is one of the team's highest.
Did anybody pick him up? Yeah, but them Clemson Tigers, man. Him and what's his name, Dexter Lawrence, man. Yeah, they kind of weird up there, man. They kind of weird, man. But it's cool Tigers, man. They kind of weird up there, man. I'm telling you, bro.
Now, while the kiss wasn't
look at this dude, bro. He on that Diddy shit, bro.
Christian has a track record of doing just some downright.
What's your problem, bro? What's your problem, bro? Like, as a grown man, why? What? I tell you, them Clemson Tigers, bro.
Trust me, we're gonna get into all the weirdness.
Clemson Tigers kind of different over there, man.
$100 million contract. But first, we must go back to the start to meet Christian Wilkins, the freakiest football player ever.
If that happens in a locker room and then they go and report it, that means the locker room probably didn't fuck with them.
You know, whatever you're going through as a person, if you got something going on in life, just, talk to somebody. Get some therapy.
Before Christian Wilkins was the wildest man in college football,
why are you feeling up on another man? Michael Sam, man, come on, dog.
Already a problem, a real
I
problem.
don't even think Michael Sam was like this, bro.
Christian wasn't just a high school football player; he was a grown man. At 6'4", 300 pounds, Wilkins moved like a linebacker, hit like a freight train, and had the kind of sideline energy that made you wonder if he drunk a Red Bull with his pregame meal. He was a 5-star recruit, but the stars didn't even do him justice. He played both ways, bulldozing dudes at offensive line, around to terrorize them at defensive tackle. He finished his high school career in 2015 with 253 total with 28 and a half sacks and 69 for loss. Christian wasn't just playing high school football, he was rewriting what it looked like: loud, explosive, joyful, and totally out of pocket.
Damn.
Trust me, this was just the beginning.
Bro, he like that too, bro. He like that. But he a freak. Shit, I ain't talking about on the field, bro.
They signed a force of nature.
You get diddy-fied, bro.
He was a different breed. He had the size of a nose tackle, the feet of a linebacker, and the heart of a
that Dexter Lawrence right there. But them boys, Cleveland Farrell. Yeah, them boys go crazy, bro. Like, hate them niggas.
He finished with 250 total tackles, 16 sacks, and the kind of resume most players only dreamed about. Two-time All-American, team captain, and the emotional engine of one of the greatest defenses in college football history. But here's what made Christian Wilkins different. It wasn't just the stats, it was the energy. He brought fire, chaos, personality. He wasn't just the best defensive lineman on the field. He was the loudest, the weirdest, the most unforgettable.
Hey, bro, them Clemson Tigers. Hey, bro, look at him. Dexter Lawrence, freaky ass. Deshaun Watson, he extra. He extra with that bitch. Alright, bro. Hey, bro. I don't know, man. I don't know.
Wilkins played football like a man who refused to take it too seriously, and somehow that made him even more dangerous. But during his time at Clemson, there were for sure some head-scratching moments, and not everyone was laughing. In 2016, during the Fiesta Bowl against Ohio State, a playoff semifinals watched by millions, Christian crossed the line. During a pile-up, cameras caught him reaching between the legs of Ohio State wide receiver Curtis Samuel and grabbing a handful of his manhood.
Oh my God.
Look.
Oh, you nasty!
Just hear the folks in this.
Fuck is your problem, bro?
What they just saw. The replay went viral. Twitter exploded, and within minutes,
yo, I'm gonna put that fucking belt on you, bro. Why is you doing this, bro?
They were teaching the defensive guys up there at Clemson around this.
Yeah, I told you. Him, Dexter Lawrence, Deshaun Watson, yeah, those dudes freaky with it, bro.
Because linebacker Ben Bauer said they've been doing stuff like this all season long.
It's something we've done all year just to mess with players. Like, no one's probably done it as aggressive as Christian did. I did it against USC where I just, the dude tweeted it, I just, poked him in the butt, which is something we do just to mess with players, just to kind of break up the seriousness of the game. I've never done it as aggressive as Christian did it. I'll just, poke him.
Bro, don't do none of that shit, bro. How about just play ball? Y'all putting niggas in a bad light, man. Y'all put niggas in a bad light, bro. That's all I'm gonna say, bro.
Just to another man. The people in the comments was cooking this man. Does anyone find it troubling how comfortable he is admitting that this is a normal thing? Disgusting. The fact he's saying it's something we've done all year. This has to only go on at Clemson. I've watched college football for over 30 years.
Exactly. Hey, I'm glad y'all understand it. Glad y'all understand it.
The booty warrior. Critics called it unsportsmanlike. Fans were disgusted, but Christian, he shrugged.
I mean, it's just a silly moment in the game. You know, a lot of things happen in the course of the football game. You know, that if people seen or heard it, a lot of people wouldn't be too happy. But yeah.
All right, Diddy.
Just casually said a lot of stuff happens during the course of a football game.
Told you, man. Hey, society normalized a lot of weird shit, man. Once you start letting shit go, start normalizing weird shit, they think it's the norm. Shit.
But it didn't stop there.
I don't know, bro.
Fast forward to the national championship game
Definitely
in
weird, man.
Clemson
We
had
definitely
just
need to crack
demolished
down
them.
on that weird shit nigga
Confetti
be
was
doing, man.
falling,
I'm telling
the
you,
field was chaos.
shit weird, bro.
And right there in the middle of it all,
Fuck is you touching another man for?
Cameras caught Christian dancing. Okay, cool, nothing too out of the ordinary. But then
And
this
why
man
is you
dropped into
busting
a
a
full-on split. Like, bro, what the hell is up with Buddy? A 315-pound
boy,
defensive tackle
boy,
hitting
boy.
that move you expect from a gymnast, or hell, probably a stripper. Not the anchor of a championship defense.
Nigga say hell, probably a
When he asked
stripper.
why he did it, Christian just laughed.
I just ruptured something watching. Christian, what is going on here?
I'll call you something, boy. Boy, I'm gonna get hung. I'll call you what I need to call you. I need to call you this. But if I do, I will get fucking buried under the fucking pits of hell.
Different. When the Dolphins drafted him,
Yeah,
from the
I
moment
will
he hit
get
the stage on
cruised.
draft night, trying to chest bump the commissioner and nearly knocking Roger Goodell off his feet, Wilkins made one thing clear: this dude wasn't built like your typical NFL lineman, on or off the field. He was an instant starter in Miami.
Yeah, he was like that, bro.
Within
He was a dog.
Dolphins fans were all in.
But he's
Danced
a
at the
fucking-
stops, celebrated like he
Oh,
just
you
hit a
know
game
what,
winner
too?
every time he made a
Shit.
tackle, and even caught a touchdown pass his rookie year. But it didn't go long before his chaotic streak introduced itself to the NFL in a big way. October 20th, 2019, Week 7, Dolphins versus the
when he
Bills.
humped
The game
Josh
had
Allen
barely
or
started.
grabbed Josh Allen
Second
balls.
place of scrimmage.
Weird,
Christian
bro.
Wilkins was already being ejected.
Who threw a punch, he will be disqualified. Wow.
After a short incompletion, Christian got into it with Bills rookie offensive lineman Cody Ford and swung on him. A real deal punch caught on camera, delivered with zero hesitation.
Oh, shit,
Flags
it wasn't
flew,
this
the
incident.
stadium buzzed. The
It was
refs
another
didn't
one, I
think
guess.
twice. Christian was gone just 33 seconds into the game. It was the earliest ejection by a Dolphins rookie in franchise history and became national news. The aftermath was a mix of embarrassment and disappointment for Miami. Head coach Brian Flores was furious, emphasizing that the team needed discipline and that he expected more out of Christian. Christian himself appeared shell-shocked by his own outburst. I was extremely selfish. I don't think I've ever been more disappointed in myself about something. There's no place for this in a game. I really let myself and my teammates down in just a selfish moment, he admitted, his usual smile replaced with remorse. But my only question is, he don't think a punch is acceptable for a football game, which is not, but he think grabbing somebody's nuts is? Come on now. Help! And the crazy thing is, the chaos didn't stop at punches. As Christian settled into the league, one rivalry took on a life of its own, not because of the hits or the wins, but because of the weirdness. Against the Bills again, this time
this
Josh
one, I
Allen
guess.
became Christian's
Oh, no.
victim, and not in a football sense. In nearly every Dolphins-Bills matchup, cameras caught Wilkins getting a little too close for comfort. Lay hits? Nah. Cheap shots? Not really. It was stranger than that. Just like that sack grab
yeah,
he did
so
when
it
he
was
was at
this one.
Clemson. Cameras caught him doing the same thing in 2022 to Josh. During a heated Bills win, Josh Allen completely snapped. At first, you wouldn't know why he just got up pushing players like that. But if you pay close attention, you can see Christian at the bottom of the pile grabbing at Josh. It's not in his clip, but
So
Josh was
goddamn
going
weird,
crazy.
bro.
He even ripped off Christian's helmet while yelling at him. The NFL later fined Christian $13,261.
Weird, fam.
Though Christian denied any intentional wrongdoing and even appealed the fine. By that point, however, the damage to his reputation was done. This was far from an isolated incident. Josh Allen and other players knew Christian Wilkins had a liking for pushing boundaries in the most bizarre ways. And Josh actually talked about the incident a few weeks later. On the Kyle Brandt's podcast, Josh was asked about Christian, and he didn't hold back. It is what it is. He's a competitor. He's been been known for that going back to college. I should know that and shouldn't let it get the best of me. But sometimes you see red and things like that happen. I'm not here to make any claims or throw anybody under the bus, but I shouldn't let the emotions get the best of me. He said it half laughing, half confused, like a man who had been haunted by years of subtle harassment and could finally say it out loud. At some point between the ejection and the Josh Allen beef, the narrative around Christian had begun to shift. He wasn't just a high energy guy anymore. He became something different, something more entertaining, and for opposing teams, more infuriating. The NFL's biggest troll. That's what fans started calling him. A man who played like a Pro Bowl talent, but celebrated like a class clown. It didn't matter if he was racking up tackles, which by 2022 he led all defensive linemen in that category. It didn't matter if he was quietly becoming one of the best run stuffers in a game. To fans and rival players, Christian Wilkins wasn't just a football player anymore. He was weird and dirty, loved by his teammates, hated by the rivals, and impossible to ignore. In March of 2024, the Raiders made a bold headline-grabbing move. They signed Christian Wilkins, the loudest, weirdest, most disruptive defensive tackle in football, to a massive contract. 4 years, $110 million. One of the richest deals ever for a player at his position. This wasn't just a payday, it was a statement. The Raiders were making a huge gamble. Christian was brought in to anchor the Raiders defense and play alongside the man himself, Max Crosby. For the first 5 weeks of the season, the gamble looked genius. Wilkins came out swinging, plugging gaps, blowing up screens, flexing after every play. He had 17 tackles, 2 sacks, and 6 quarterback hits in just 5 weeks. The Raiders were finally seeing the dominance they paid for. But then, the energy stopped, the noise stopped, Wilkins stopped, and everything changed. Week 5, second quarter, Christian planted his foot down to chase a running back, and suddenly he goes down. A Jones fracture, a break in the 5th bone in his foot, located
Hey, this is where I fucked my shit up at. Right here, the cuneiform of my shit. Hairline fracture, bro. No cap, bro.
It's a nightmare. This fracture sits in part of the foot with very low blood flow, which means it heals slowly, if it heals at all. Re-injury rates are high. Surgery is almost always required. And for a 300-pound defensive tackle who exposed off the line on every snap, it's one of the worst breaks you can get. Christian underwent surgery in October 2024. Doctors inserted a screw into his foot, hoping to stabilize the fracture and start the clock on recovery. The hope was 10 to 12 weeks, but healing doesn't always follow the schedule. This same injury has taken down some of the best athletes alive. Kevin Durant missed an entire season. Dez Bryant rushed back too fast and was never the same. Julio Jones has a long history with a fracture and needed multiple surgeries. If you don't fix it the right way, it fixes you. And Christian, he was stuck in the middle of that truth. Ever the optimist, he was reportedly in a facility at 6 a.m. the next morning after getting hurt, already telling coaches he'd be back in a couple weeks. But what actually followed was a grueling rehab saga that stretched on and tested the patience of everyone involved. Throughout the winter of 2024 and early 2025, Christian's foot simply did not heal on schedule. Weeks turned into months. In fact, even as spring arrived, Christian was still not cleared to run. He made an appearance at a high-profile charity golf event hosted by one of his teammates in March, and the folks there couldn't help but to notice that he was still in the walking boot. He smiled for the cameras, looking in decent spirits, but the message was clear. He was far from game ready. By late spring, the situation hadn't improved much. Christian attended the Raiders' offseason program, grinding through rehab exercises, but he couldn't participate in actual on-field work. Pete Carroll, who was hired in January of this year, tried to sound patient but concerned. It's been a difficult recovery. He's done everything he needs to do. He's here early, working hard, but we're still working on it. It's a long, challenging process. But behind the scenes, the Raiders' medical staff was concerned. The team recommended a second surgery, likely a hardware revision or bone graft to stimulate healing. But Christian, he said no. The timetable for return after such a revision will be another 3 to 4 months at minimum. If Christian got the second surgery back in May, he might have been back on the field around September or October of this season. However, he wasn't having it. He pushed back. He wanted to take the more natural approach. Rest, physical therapy, trust the body to heal on its own. Reportedly, he told a teammate, "It's my body. I've played through worse. I'm not getting cut open again just because they're impatient." Now, from the team's perspective, that was unacceptable. They paid top dollar for
Nigga,
a
you
franchise
the one
cornerstone,
impatient,
and
bitch.
he was refusing medical advice that could get him back on the field. And for Christian's side, he didn't trust the team to make the right call for his future. This wasn't a sprain. It was his career, his mobility, his power. He wasn't about to risk it for a quick return that might not even work. And you can't blame the man for that. But when a large amount of money is involved, it can get scary. What started as rehab became a cold war. And in a matter of a few weeks, things quickly escalated. By July 2025, Christian was already skating on thin ice. The injury, the contract drama, the tension with the front office, all of it was boiling just under the surface. And then, out of nowhere, he lit the match. While still not being able to be out on the field with his team, Christian still found a way to do some questionable things. It started off with a kiss, a forehead kiss to be exact. According to Adam Schefter, who broke the news live on the Pat McAfee show, Christian kissed a teammate on top of the head inside the Raiders team meeting room, like out of nowhere, and it was definitely not received how he expected.
That Christian playfully went to kiss a teammate on top of his head. That player took offense to it.
Christian would later describe it as playful, but his teammate, he didn't laugh, he didn't joke. He filed an HR complaint. In a league known for toughness, the idea of an HR complaint for something that happened inside of a team meeting room was unheard of.
That's
it wasn't a fight, it wasn't a physical altercation. Well,
no, he's just a weird ass dude.
Maybe depends on how you look at it, but it was
he's just a weird ass dude. But you can't play with certain dudes, man. You just can't, bro. Like, nigga, don't be going around kissing niggas, man. The fuck is your problem? No shit, he gonna get upset. You go around kissing a nigga, man. What you doing? The fuck is wrong with you? You mad cause a nigga don't want you kissing him, nigga? I don't want you kissing me.
Somehow, that made it worse, because this wasn't just a misread of the moment. It was a complete misfire in a culture built on boundaries and the unspoken rule of keep your hands and your lips to yourself.
When did men in a football, back in a setting like this, when did they start playing like this, Ojo?
That's what I'm saying, bro. Why is you kissing on niggas, man? And you mad cause a nigga got mad cause you kissing him? When he specifically didn't want you doing that in the first place? What the fuck is you talking about, bro? That's what I be telling y'all, bro. Y'all be normalizing weird shit. That shit is not normal to do. That shit was never normal to do. How you normalizing weird shit? You normalize weird shit and you think it's normal. Stop doing that, bro. Stop. This shit weird. Stop kissing dudes that don't want to be kissed.
Avoided the remaining $35.2 million in Christian's contract guarantees. No warning, no appeal, just gone. The kiss may have lasted a second, but the financial fallout is generational.
You played yourself out of 36 M&Ms, man. That's crazy. That's satanic right there.
What he thought was a simple locker room joke had now become the final chapter of his $110 million deal. The Raiders were done, and this time they weren't hiding behind the injury reports or football reasons. The kiss was the moment everything collapsed. When the word got out, a few teammates and other players around the league spoke out. Veteran Adam Butler, a defensive tackle and locker room voice, was asked about Christian during a press conference, and instead of dodging it, he just simply told bro, go seek some help.
You know, whatever you're going through as a person, if you got something going on in life, just, talk to somebody. Get some therapy. Whatever your deal is your deal. Somebody out there in this world full of billions of people is willing to listen.
He didn't say Christian was misunderstood. It tells you how other players in the league viewed this man. Around the Raiders, the whispers turned into headlines. Some insiders suggested that this wasn't the first time Christian made people feel uncomfortable. Well, just by this video, we already know that. But others hinted that he had become too unpredictable and too freaky. Hell, Pat McAfee even said,
so if that happens in a locker room and then they go and report it, that means the locker room probably didn't fuck with them, right?
And whether it's fair or not, it's stuck. The label, the joke, the reputation. Christian was no longer the guy with the big was when he did this 8 years ago. So what you think? Should the NFL give him another chance, or should they keep this man out the league forever?
I believe it's second chance, but he had multiple of those, bro. From touching on niggas, so I don't know. It depends on them. If it was up to me, I ain't gonna lie, you done, bro. You had multiple chances to quit your antics, bro. You kept doing it, so I don't know, bro. I don't know. But yeah, he's diddy-fied, no cap.
Don't need no pen, I just hop in and shit get at it. The stick ain't got no kickback when it clap.